So, bit of a random video, but I thought I'd make it anyway. I'm gonna go for a little late night drive. Haven't driven this yet, so I'll take you guys with me. But there's a video that I wanted to make for a while. I've not seen anybody else make this or talk about it. But it's a story about how I ended up retiring with my mum. And I just thought, let's just go for a drive and I'll take you guys with me. This is the new G500. It's a pretty nice car. So, yeah, it's a video that I wish I saw when, I was just starting out, because it's pretty motivating, and I think a lot of people aspire to, essentially do the same thing, which is to retire their parents. Yet, I haven't seen anybody else break this down before or just explain how it was done. So, let's go for a drive. Now, if you're new here, by the way, and you don't know who I am, and you've never seen me before, my name is Marcus. Hold on, there we go. I think the light's a little bit better. I started my first online business when I was 17, 18, when I just turned 18, essentially. And I come from a little place called Latvia. I never had money. My family's never had money. We grew up in literal poverty. When I moved to the UK, which is where I'm at right now, I came back to visit my mum. It's her birthday, and her favorite car is the G-Wagon, so I got this to just take her out and show her a good time. But we never had money, and that was one of the first reasons my first reason on why I wanted to always work hard, try and make as much money as possible to be able to look after my mum. And it wasn't up until I was 17, my mother, when we immigrated to the UK, my mother was a cleaner. She would clean 2 different offices and 2 or 3 different warehouses, and she would bicycle between the different places. Now, for anybody who doesn't know much about the UK, it's not the most warmest of places, in the winter times, or even before winter, October, even September, especially right now, January, February, March, it's pretty cold. And if it's raining or snowing or hailing, she would still cycle to work. And anyway, there was this one day, like I said, I was about 17 years old, and I was basically just sitting at home doing fuck all. And she was like, do you want to come with me to work? I was like, yeah, sure, I've got nothing else to do. Why not? Come help you out, for sure. So I came to work with her, and I just basically helped her out for just one day. Basically just, bringing a hoover up and down, hoovering under the desks in offices, taking the garbage bins up and down the stairs, throw them out, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I finished that day, and I came home and my back was in pain. I was tired, I was aching, and I'm a 17-year-old, basically a man at that point. And I remember it so fucking vividly that back then, that's when I realized there is no fucking way I can allow my mother to do this for any longer. Because if I'm aching and I'm in pain, and I should be at my healthiest at this point, when I was, there is absolutely no way. And the crazy thing is that in life, especially as a man, I can only speak as a man, but as a man, you can achieve absolutely anything. There is literally nothing stopping you from achieving whatever you want. Bro, look at this shit, hold on. I am just a guy from Eastern Europe who immigrated to the UK. When I immigrated to the UK, I couldn't even speak English. I haven't got any good grades. I never went to university. I never had a loan. I never had an investment. And I kind of just figured it out. So, what did I do? How did I figure out and how did I end up retiring my mum? So, first things first, what was the vehicle, etc. So, at least back then, this was now 2018, 2019, I started what's called SMMA. I do not recommend it now. It's way too saturated. Everybody and their grandma has tried / is currently running an SMMA. Just look, I wouldn't recommend it. But that's how I started, and that gave me my first bit of cash flow. And I saved up money for about 3 fucking years. I saved up money for 3 years. Back then, do you know what my goal was? Besides obviously retiring my mum, I really wanted a BMW i8, the one with the doors that go up. It's right now it's 40,000 Great British Pound. Not that fucking expensive. I could have afforded that. Granted, by the way, I'm fully aware, yes, that is still a load of money, but I make that in about 2 days at the moment. So it's all relative. And please, when I say that, don't think like, oh, this guy's a prick. I'm just being honest. And I want you to use this as motivation, because if me saying 40K, if me saying 40 G's is not a lot of money, that pisses you off, good. That should motivate you. At least that's how I looked at it. But anyway, my goal was an i8, like £40,000. Bro, I had that money in my bank account for nearly 2 whole years. I could have bought that car so easily. But you know, in my mind, I was like, what kind of man am I? What kind of son am I? If I was to be pulling up to my mum's house when she's working super hard as a cleaner, she's cleaning 3-4 different places, cycling to work back and forth, and I'm pulling up in a nice sports car, I would feel like an absolute idiot. So I knew always since a young age that it was my duty to look after her. So anyway, I saved up a load of money. I worked my fucking ass off. I'll tell you in just a bit, like exactly what happened and how I done it and what I would do now. Like if I knew what I know now, instead of it taking like 3 years, I mean, you could genuinely do it in less than 12 months. In less than 12 months. And I didn't know what I know now, and it took me about 3 years. So if you want to retire your parents or achieve that really big fucking ambitious goal, I'm not talking about get that little Rolex. I'm talking about those big ambitious goals. Then make sure you watch till the end of this video, because I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what you must do in order to achieve it. So anyway, I saved up, I'll just tell you the story real quick and then I'll go into the practicals, right? So I saved up all of the money that I had. And essentially I reached out to my mum's, because I wanted to be a surprise, of course, right? Through my stepdad, I went ahead and reached out to my mum's manager, or well, her boss, right? On all different places. Well, she worked for a cleaning company, and that cleaning company basically contracted her to like the different warehouses, offices, blah, blah. I basically reached out to him and I was like, look, I'm the son of so-and-so. I don't know if you believe me, but you know, I'm going to be retiring my mum. By the way, I was about 23 years old at this point. I was 23. So I reached out, I said that to him. He said, congratulations, that's amazing. And I just basically wanted to know, like, hey, look, like, how much is she being paid? Because I want to make sure that, you know, everything's good. I done all the paperwork. I made sure, well, when I say paperwork, just basically giving her the resignation without her knowing. So that happened. I then spoke to, again, my stepdad to figure out if she had, you know, much credit or debt, etc. Now, I was very fortunate in a position where my mum had never had a loan. She had, well, actually, no, that's a lie. She had credit, but she never had like a mortgage. She never took out like a massive loan, you know, for a house. That's what I mean. So she was only about £8,000 in debt and credit cards. So I was basically, what I'm saying here is I was doing the calculations and figuring out, okay, how much do I actually need to just break her even, to make sure she's not in debt. So luckily for me, it was pretty easy. She didn't spend too much, you know, she wasn't in debt for too much. And look, basically I saved up the money. This was Christmas, I want to say 2023. Yeah, 2023, I believe. It was Christmas time, and I took her out for a meal, just me and her. And I basically handwritten this letter, which she still has, by the way, obviously, or it's a card. And in the card, I wrote down basically in Latvian, which is obviously, again, the country that I'm from. In Latvian, I wrote down, do you remember that day when I came to work with you? Do you remember after we got back home, how much my back hurt? And I was saying to you, there's no way I can let you carry on with doing this. Well, today's the day. You no longer have to carry on doing this. I am retiring you. And my mum is so wholesome. She just like put like her hand over her mouth and like she just couldn't believe it. Well, yeah, she literally couldn't believe it. Like when I say she couldn't believe it, as in like she literally did not believe like that I was doing this. She thought I was like, I don't know, some sort of like a nice joke, or I don't know. Anyway, she was like, what does this mean? And I was like, I'm retiring you. You don't have to work a single day ever again, mum. Like, you do realize the last 3 years that I haven't taken a single holiday, a single day off, it's all because of this. And I basically told her, like, look, you've got 2 options. Do you either want this big lump sum of money up front, or do you want me to just kind of pay you on a monthly basis, like £5,000-6,000 a month? You know what she said? She said no to both of those options. She said no to both of those options for a whole month. Bro, when I'm telling you, this woman carried on working for an entire month. I swear. She carried on working for an entire month. And it was funny, like we kind of joke about this every now and then now, but she carried on working for an entire month just to like, I don't know, she just couldn't believe it. I'm telling you, she could not believe it. She didn't realize that like, I'm being serious. I showed her the money, obviously. So she knew that like, you know, I've got the money, you're fine. But anyway, after a month, she was like, yeah, do you know what, I actually can't, I physically can't carry on with this. Like, I'm gonna have to quit. Or well, not even quit, just go into retirement. And that's kind of like the like, look, there's so much more to it, you know, but this is a short YouTube video. I'm gonna try and kind of keep this story short. Perhaps I might do an entire like podcast episode where I break everything down into more detail, but I think for a lot of you guys, besides the story, a lot of you guys where you're gonna get the value is, how the fuck did I do it? Like, what actually goes into it? Well, I told you a little bit about it already, which is, I think first things first, you must, first of all, every single one of you guys watching this will be in a completely different scenario, in a different circumstance, and there's so many different variables that go into it. Now for me, like I mentioned already, I am very, very fortunate, or I was very fortunate, in the sense that she didn't have a mortgage, she didn't have a massive loan, and she was only in about £9,000 in credit card debt. So it's very easy for me to pay that off. Also, the work that she was doing, I mean, she was just a cleaner. It's not like she was like a head of HR department in a massive corporate company where if she left, like it would be big issues and she signed a big contract. No, it was pretty easy for her to leave. So you have to take all these things into account. And for me, like I mentioned there, it was, you know, pretty easy. And if I knew what I know now, like the business that I run now, the way I'm able to, I literally just landed in London. I go to the airport, there's a G500 brand new waiting for me. The way I'm able to afford all of these crazy things, that also, it's her birthday tomorrow, hence why I'm here. I literally just went to Harrods, I went to Westfields. We probably dropped about £9,000. And when I was younger, when I was just starting this whole business stuff, I did not have £2,000 to my name. Didn't even have 2K in my bank account. So to just be able to Apple Pay, like for example, I just bought Apple AirPod Max, that was like £499. I bought her a Dyson hair straightener, because she uses like these heat ones that ruin her hair. This hot heat one apparently is like the best thing. I swear I don't even know. I think it was like £800, £900, just Apple Pay. I bought her a bunch of more Beats. I bought her some more Nike, the best trainers you could have. I bought her some more clothes. I bought her some more gym stuff because she's getting into a gym, and so on and so on and so on. And like, again, I'm not fucking saying like, oh yeah, I spent 9K, look at me flexing, because at the end of the day, none of you give a fuck. That's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm able to do that. I'm in a stage where I'm able to do that. And how? How am I able to do that? Well, the business that I run is OnlyFans management. Now, some of you guys might be like, oh my God, it's controversial, it's horrible, it's the worst thing in the world. Some of you guys might be like, yeah, that's fucking sick. You get to manage hot girls online. Look, whether you love it or hate it, the truth is the truth, which is there is so much fucking money in this industry that it's actually obscene. I have made so much money in this industry to the point where I don't really have to work. I've taken the last like 3 days off practically. I haven't even checked my laptop, and I've still, like yesterday we made £24,000, well, dollars, USD. The day before that was 34. So you can do the maths on how much that is a month. And the business model itself is fairly simple. You reach out to OnlyFans models, you partner with them, you help them with their social media, you help them with their marketing, you help them get more fans to their OnlyFans page, you help them sell more content on their OnlyFans page, more images, more videos, and then you simply split the bread in the middle, right? You go 50-50. And the creator, you never get to meet them, you don't have to meet them, you literally just send them the content ideas, the girl simply creates the videos or photos, sends them to you and your team, and then you guys just simply, post it, speed bump, you guys simply just post it and sell it. Pretty simple. And to be honest, the truth of the matter is, that is how simple it is. I'm just gonna park up and do a little talking bit outside. And I have tons and tons of YouTube videos of me explaining exactly how the business model works and in more detail as well. And if you wanted to check that out, you can go on my YouTube channel and you can check those videos out. But in a nutshell, that is how simple the business model is, right? Also, this guy's decided to park here. This car park, there is literally nobody here. And this motherfucker decided to park right here and try and do the YouTube video. All right, I'm just gonna drive away. I'm just gonna be socially awkward and drive away. He's staring at me because I'm in a G-Wagon. I understand, my friend. All right, well, this was not planned. But anyway, the point of this video is, number one, to motivate you guys. Number two, to get you guys to think bigger. Because if I had just been thinking, oh, it'd be nice to just pay my mum like £2,000. I mean, yeah, but what about retiring her? What about getting her a house? Which is what I've done. This is another thing I'm here for. We have to do some more paperwork. What about instead of getting that Rolex, why don't you get the dream watch? Instead of getting that nice sports car, why don't you get the supercar? Instead of getting that nice 2-bedroom apartment, why not the fucking top floor penthouse? You need to dream bigger, and you need to really, really believe in yourself. And the things, besides like the practicals of like, I done this, I pressed this, things that helped me actually achieve my goal of retiring my mum, it was a couple of things. Number one, hard fucking work. I know that sounds so fucking obvious, and everybody says hard work and all this, but what does it really mean? Well, I didn't have a holiday for like 3 years. My Saturday, Sundays were a Monday. I just worked. Don't get me wrong, sure, every now and then, I went to go meet my friends. I wasn't completely like fucking socially awkward, but I did basically just work. That's all I done. Can I go this way? Yeah, I can. I'm in a fucking G-Wagon. So, number one is hard work, okay? Number two, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. A lot. So much sacrifice. Like, when I first started this little online business, I was playing video games, I was smoking weed, and I was just being an idiot. I was just being a dumb teenager. I completely quit all of that. I started hanging around with less people. I spent way less time on bullshit, and every single waking minute, I was either building something or learning. That's literally the only two things I was doing. I was either building or learning. I was either building my business, building new systems, building new well, I wasn't really building softwares, but new systems, hiring new people, and just figuring out more effective ways to do things, and figuring out what works and how can I do more of that. Or I was learning, like when I was eating breakfast or lunch or dinner, or I was in the gym, or I was driving, just any single second where I was just doing something where I could listen to something at the same time. I wasn't listening to music. I was listening to either audiobooks, podcasts. For example, you should watch these videos. You should subscribe. You should listen to what I say, because, I'd like to say that I'm in a pretty decent stage in my life now where I'm able to actually give this advice and it's effective to people, So, anyway, all of this to say, ladies and gentlemen, that anything that you want in life, you can achieve it. You simply just have to work very fucking hard, sacrifice a lot. But the thing is, the sacrifices are all worth it, because within a couple of years, you realize, wait a minute, my mother is retired. I am living literally my dream life. I'm driving the G500. I've just flown here from Dubai. I live in a Dubai mansion or whatever you want. Obviously, if you don't want that, who fucking cares? So thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. I appreciate it. Subscribe and comment what other topics you'd like me to talk about. Peace.